Sanovi Technologies is a leading provider of business continuity, IT recovery and cloud migration solutions using its innovative application-defined continuity or ADC technology. Sanovi has over 350 customers across the globe, including Fortune 500 companies, service providers and multi-billion-dollar enterprises across vertical industries. Sanovi is a Gartner tool vendor and Red Herring Global 100 Award winner. Welcome to Sanovi Cloud Migration Manager demo. Cloud Migration Manager is a non-intrusive, cloud-intelligent, policy-based migration software to optimize and leverage cloud infrastructure. Let's start in the landing page, which shows various phases of the lifecycle of migrating a workload from on-premise to cloud. The right side of the screen, you can see overall status of the migration process with the number of sites and organizations configured and the number of applications in various phases of migration. Discover phase is where the application landscape is discovered and the characteristics of the application is captured. Let us dig deep into the discovery phase and the discovery of a workload. Click on the Discover app to migrate, which takes you to the Application Builder canvas. In this demo, we will discover a 3-tier application and name it Demo App. Select the tiers to define the layout: the web tier, the application and the database tier. Now, we will discover the virtual machines of the application and assign them through the appropriate tiers. Click on Add VM to discover the virtual machines. Let Demo Hypergate App and assign it to Application tier. Demo Hypergate DB, assign it to Database tier. Demo Hypergate Web to Web tier. You can select the network tag to be a private or public-facing network. In this demo, we want the web to be a public-facing network. The start sequence of the virtual machine defines the order which VM needs to be started. In this case, we will set the database VM to start first, followed by the app VM and the web VM. The additional properties of the application can be provided in the Properties tab. Here we will select the organization the application belongs to. Tier communication defines the roles to allow communication between the tiers of the application. In this case, we will allow the VMs in the app tier to communicate to VMs in the database tier. Click on Publish to complete the discovery of the application. You will now see that our application is discovered and contains 3 tiers and 3 virtual machines. Once the application is discovered, Cloud Migration Manager starts to capture the characteristics of the application by monitoring the resource utilization of each VM. This data is used to recommend appropriate cloud resources later. Click on View Workload Analysis to see the resource utilization. For each VM in the application, you can see the performance and utilization statistics of CPU, memory, and the disk. Also, the time since the data is being captured is available. Once in-app resource sampling is collected, click on Complete Workload Analysis to stop for the data collection. With the workload analysis completed, the discovery phase is done and the application is ready for planning. We have discovered the application and its characteristics. This completes the discovery phase. Planning phase is where an enterprise migration plan is attached to the workload and the resources on the cloud are identified based on the plan. Go to the plan page to view the applications ready for planning. A migration plan specifies to which AWS region the workload has to be migrated and the kind of optimization needed to be considered while identifying resources on the cloud. You can see that there is one predefined plan available. You can also create your plan by specifying the optimization parameters. Click on Create Plan to create a plan. Provide a plan name, a plan description, and select a target AWS region. There are 3 plan options to choose from. Balanced Plan. This plan maximizes ROI, optimizing the trade-off between performance and operational cost, providing efficient but cost-effective application. Performance Maximizer. This plan maximizes performance and reliability of production enterprise application by mirroring production application environment in the cloud. Cost Optimizer. This plan maximizes cost benefit by optimizing infrastructure provisioning and deployments to reduce and contain operational cost of cloud application. For the demo, we will choose the balanced plan. For this demo, we will override the recommendations provided by Cloud Migration Manager and set the memory optimization to aggressive. Our new plan is created. To assign this plan to application, click on Assign Plan. Select the plan, refer the plan properties, and also specify the AWS properties like account, VPC, and the availability zone. We will also define the firewall security rules. These rules will be translated into AWS Security Group rules and will be associated with the workload. For this demo, we will allow HTTPS request from the web to the application over 8443 port. Now that the plan has been attached to the workload, the intelligent engine selects the appropriate resources on the cloud based on the properties of the plan and characteristics of the application. For instance, the web tier VM has been assigned an M3 medium instance type with a private and public IP and a general purpose EBS storage. These recommendations can be overridden to finer control. A bill of material is also available to review the resources for the workload, which can also be used to calculate the pricing. Now the workload is ready for migration. As part of the migration, the virtual machines will be replicated to the cloud. We have seen discovery, assess, and plan phases. Now we will initiate the migration. Let's go to the migration page where the application be discovered and assess is ready to be migrated. Click on Migrate Now icon to initiate the migration. If you navigate to Migration in Progress tab, you can see that the initial full sync for the application has been started. Once the environment to migrate is set up, live application data is copied securely without the name for production downtime. Cloud Migration Manager gives you real-time insight into the progress of the application copy into the cloud. It provides the amount of data that has been successfully replicated and expected time to complete. This is a very powerful feature of the product, enabling you to track multiple application migrations in parallel to help meet SLAs and schedules. Once the full copy of the application is completed, the incremental changes to the application are automatically replicated to cloud. This is yet another powerful feature of the product to eliminate migration delays by keeping application in the cloud in sync with production and ready for test or cutover anytime. Once workload is migrated, we have to prepare it for testing on the cloud. Workloads can be tested while the incremental sync is still going on. Go to the test page to view the workloads ready for testing. click on Prepare Test icon. Cloud Migration Manager will prepare the test by creating snapshots of the replicated workload and bring up the application by starting the virtual machines based on the startup sequence defined in the application layout. Once the prepare test is done, the workload is ready to test. On the management console, you can verify that the instances are available. Since these instances are created out of the snapshot of the replicated data, you can perform intrusive or non-intrusive tests on these instances. Let us now test the workload. Click on Workflow icon to create, view, and execute workflows to test. You can build customized and automate any number of tests. In this demo, we will execute function test, which will start the application and verify whether it is listening on the particular port. You can also track the live status of the text by clicking on the execution status. Here you can see the tasks or the actions performed as part of the tests, time taken to perform each step, and its status. In this demo, we have configured the test with 4 tasks to change application configuration to connect the database instance, start the application, verify the port, and verify in the log that the application has started successfully. The test is successful. Now, we can terminate the instances that were provisioned in the cloud for testing. We go to the test page. The test bed can be terminated by clicking on Tear Down Test. Once the teardown is completed, on the management console, you can verify that the instances are terminated. We can start tracking the incremental synchronization after the testing phase is completed. We will also learn to create or customize workflows for test. Click on Workflow icon. In this stage, you can click on New Workflow button to create a new workflow for test. On the demo, we will edit the functional test that we just executed. Cloud Migration Manager provides best-in-class industry-proven workflow automation engine with rich automation library containing hundreds of pre-built tasks like file operations, process operations, and script executions, to name a few. Now that the application is tested and it is ready for the cutover phase, where the application is shut down on the source, pending data is synchronized and the workload is brought up on the cloud. Go to the cutover page and click on Cutover icon. The pre-flight check for the workload is in progress now. After the pre-flight check, cutover is performed. You can see that the application is in cutover in progress, while Cloud Migration Manager is synchronizing any pending data from source to the cloud to bring up the workload. The virtual machines will be provisioned based on the startup sequence with the right network and security rules provided during discovery phase. The cutover is completed and the status is cloud ready. The application is up and running on cloud as production instances. We can verify the status of the instances using the Cloud Console. We have seen the complete life cycle of migrating the workload to cloud. As you can see, Cloud Migration Manager provides enterprise-class policy-based migration of workloads with full automation across all the phases, thus eliminating manual errors, reduce the time taken by nearly 50%, and accelerate cloud adoption, saving millions of dollars while bringing visibility, predictability, and consistency for migrations.